Okay, we'll start off with some revision. Sorry. We'll just use the first few minutes. The first few minutes on some revision. Okay. Last time we did the static thing and we also did overloading of methods. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the overloading of methods. Okay. Overloading of method actually means that we have one method name. The name of the method is the same, but we create multiple methods and all of them doing different things. So the method names have to be the same. The return time does not matter at all. And the signature should be different. Why is it so? So that the system can recognize which function, which method to actually execute. Which method to execute. And we had done this in the last class, like this. Okay, so either the number of arguments or the type of arguments or the arrangement of arguments should be different. Okay, we'll take an example right now. We'll take an example just now. And we'll figure out how to do this. Okay, I just took some samples that time. We have not actually created these. We had created one example, yes, I remember, where we had one function called add, which is taking 2 int arguments, one function called add taking 2 long arguments. Okay, so we had done that, but we will do one more today. Okay, how many people are there in class now?
16.
16, including me. Okay,
Yes.
15. Okay. Okay, let me let me start off. Let's say I want to create a method called showline method. So a showline method, what is it supposed to do? It is supposed to display a line of 50 plus signs, plus characters. That means when I call showline function, it will actually display something like this, a long line of 50 characters. Can we understand this part? Yes or no? Yes or no? Guys, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, there are 50 plus signs or the 50 lines are there for plus
So
signs?
one line, it is called show line, not show lines. It is basically displays a line, a single line of 50 plus characters. So that means I have not counted these, that these are not 50. Okay, but it will display a line of 50 plus characters.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this part is clear. Okay,
Yes, sir.
how do you think we are going to create it? It is going to display, so that means it is not returning anything, so it is basically displaying. So won't we create something like void showline function, and what will we do? How will we display 50 plus characters?
Sir, in for loops are running from 1 to 50, then we will system.out print plus sign.
Okay, so that means we'll have an for loop where x is equal to 1, x is oh god, x is less than or equal to 50, and x plus plus, and inside the for loop I'll say system.out.print, not println, print the plus character. Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
Probably we'll create it as public void, and we will create it as public static void. I just want a line. I'm least bothered about an object creating that line. So I'm basically creating, okay, why did I write void? Because I was not supposed to return anything from here. Why did I write public? Because I want it to be available everywhere. Why did I write static? Because I don't want an object to be created for showline function. Showline function simply showline के साथ ही execute हो जाएगा. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just copy this into BlueJ. I'll share BlueJ with you in a few minutes, in a few seconds. Okay. Let me share the general screen with you, my desktop. Okay, can you see the showline function here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Yes.
okay, so I have created a showline function which is static, and I know that our main function is also static, so static can directly execute static without even creating an object. So can I actually execute the showline function like this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if this had not been static, then what would we have done? What would we have to do?
Creating an object.
Create an object. So
Sir,
that's
creating an object, then the object would have called it.
yes, then the object would have called. So test t is equal to new test function, and then we would have used t dot so and so. Right. So does it make sense, guys? Right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So please remember, why do we need static here? Because I don't want to create an object. This is one nonsense which I can do without, and that's it. Okay, so showline function. So showline function will execute. Let us display what it is actually going to display on the screen. So when I execute the main function, it will actually display a line of 50 plus signs. Does it make sense, guys? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do you think I always would need a line of plus signs always and always of 50 characters? Sometimes I may
No.
I may want a smaller line, isn't it? I mean, I may need a smaller line. I may need a line of 20 plus characters or 35 plus characters or 77 plus characters. Do you understand what I am trying to say here?
Yes.
Okay, so that means if I execute this method is always going to display 50 plus signs. Now my second problem is I may not want always 50 plus characters. I may need 33, I may need 15, I may need 10, I may need only 3. So what should I do? Don't you
Sir,
think I should, okay,
Sir, pass an argument.
pass an
pass an
argument.
argument? Okay, that means don't you think I'll pass an argument something like this? And when I pass an
Yes.
argument like this, it should actually display 15, righto?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now this 15 wala will actually not execute this one. So I have to create another one?
No, sir, change it, sir.
Why do I want to change it? Sometimes I would want always 50 characters. So don't you think I will always use this one? The first one?
Okay.
I need both. Okay, I need both. So what I'll do is I'll basically copy this and create another one. This will not allow. Why? Because show line is already there. So I'll now put an int there. Say I put int n here. So naturally now this call is made for this one now. Okay, what should I change in this program?
Sir, in place of 50, you have to write the n.
In the place of 50, I will write n. So what is going to happen? It is going to display n numbers. Okay, so that means let us run this program, and when I run this program, it shows. Okay, did I make that call?
Sir, I think you didn't write ln in
Uh,
the same.
yeah, okay. One thing is that after displaying that line, it should actually go to the next line, otherwise it will add to the same line. So I'll just add a println there. Similarly, I'll add a println here also. So that both the lines are clearly demarcated. Otherwise उसी ने actually दोनों को एक ही line में display कर दिया था. So this is the execution of the showline function, which was displaying 50 plus characters, and this is displaying 15 plus characters. So both of them are working perfectly fine. So that means suppose I need, let me, if I need say 15 characters, then I probably need 35 characters. I will write 35 here. And if I need 50 characters, I'll simply do this. So what is going to happen now? There are four calls, and four calls are given to these two statements, two methods. So first one actually executes the first method, the second one executes the second method, the third call executes the second method, and the fourth one executes the first method. Do we have any problem here, guys?
No, sir.
No, no problem. Okay, so let me execute this. Let's see how things are going to happen. It displays these four lines. These two are the 50 valley lines, the first and the fourth. Okay. Can you tell me what other variation I could have?
Sir, you enter the number each time that by input scan.
That's fine. That's fine. I may need another method now. What other requirement could be there for the method now? Can you think of any other requirement? अभी तो मैंने I've created two requirements. One requirement is I want 50 characters plus characters. Fine, वो हो गया. फिर हो गया variable number of plus characters, वो भी हो गया. What other requirement could I have? Can you think of that?
Any other character except for
Any other
So,
character? Yes, any other character. And who said that?
So I said that.
Anusha. Okay, Anusha, thank you so much. So my other requirement, my third requirement could be I may be tired of this plus character. I may need a hash character. I may need dot characters. I may need @ characters and whatever. So my third situation would be something like a call which says, okay, I want to execute showline function. I want to display 20 characters, but I want to display hash characters. So what I'll do is I'll basically what I'll pass to it is the number of characters and the character that I want to display. Okay. So what do I do now? I'll simply, because the system is almost similar, so what I'll do is I'll copy paste the whole stuff, convert this into a char C, for example, because what I'm passing is a character. Okay, is a character. Please remember, I did not put hash in double quotes. It would have been a string. I have put it into single quotes. So single quotes actually means char. Do we know this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So what I did is I have passed an int, which is the number of characters to be displayed, and char, which the character to be displayed. So what change should I make in this program, Anusha?
So we need to write C instead of plus sign.
Okay, we need to write C in place of the plus C. Is this fine?
So without the inverted commas.
Without the inverted commas. Perfect. Okay, so when I compile this, what did I actually execute? I said 20 hash characters. So that means 20 hash characters should be coming somewhere. Yes. Okay, so these are the 20 hash characters. So it's up to you. If you want 50 plus characters, fine, execute the system show line without anything. If you want the variable number of plus signs, you use the second method. And if you want to use any number of characters and any character, then you use the third method. Now, this is an example of function overloading. Okay, I'll pass this to you when the class is finished. But let me copy this into this program, this notepad. Okay, now, how many of you have any problem here? Let me see. Do we have any problem? I have 22 people here. I have 22 people here. These 22 people are actually going to go ahead. There are some people who could not make it. Somebody was not well. Somebody has classes, fine. But people who are simply sitting idle and not attending this class, they are going to lose on something. As time goes by, this class is going to be as important as the other two classes. So I think it will be more comfortable. It will be comfortable for us if we attend these classes. I'm not, you can see that I'm not rushing through things now. Otherwise, in 35 minutes, I have to rush through finishing the topic. I don't have to rush through now. Okay, so we will take it easy now. Okay, now this is an example of function overloading. And as you know, function overloading is actually the implementation of the concept of polymorphism.
Yes.
Okay, polymorphism with the spelling P-O-L-Y. Okay, polymorphism actually means many shapes. Okay, or many forms. You can imagine that your showline function is taking so many shapes. It is taking this shape, it is taking this shape, and it is taking this shape. So these are the shapes that we are talking about. We are not talking about physical shape. We are talking about the shape of a program. Okay, the same showline function has taken basically different shapes. That is why it is called as polymorphism. Are we clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll just take another example, and you could try it yourself. Or I'll send it as an assignment. Okay. So I'll create a small assignment today. I'll send it over because you will be officially doing it. I don't want to unofficially do it. Okay, this is an example that I have just shown to you. Do we have any problem here? If you have any, you could raise hand, you could ask me. Okay, now, when in your board exams and in my exams, the type of programs that you will probably have are, number one, a class program. A class program will actually tell you what fields or what instance variables are required to be created. Instant variables are required to be created and what methods are required to be created. Okay. The second type of question is going to be overloading methods. The one that we just did. Okay. So this is overloading methods. In the overloading methods, what do you have to make sure? So make sure all methods that you create are static. In fact, public and static. Okay, so this is the only thing.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, beta.
So can we do overloading methods using buffered reader or scanner class?
Using buffered reader or scanner class, overloading. What would that mean?
Sir, is there a, can we do these kinds of programs using scanner class?
You can do these using doing anything, beta.
So could
Overloading.
you please explain?
No, I didn't get your question first of all. How does buffered reader or scanner class come into the picture here? Okay, think about this question. I'll get back. You can ask me during the class. Okay, again. All right. All methods, and we can mute ourselves. All methods are supposed to be public and static. We have to make sure of that. All right. So what is your question basically going to ask you? It is going to ask you to create overloaded methods. For example, area method, which is taking an int argument, an area method, which is taking an int and an int, area method, basically, which is taking 3 int arguments. Okay. This is probably an area of a circle because I just need the radius. This is probably the area of a rectangle where we need 2 sides. This is the area of a triangle where I need 3 sides. Are we clear? The name of the method is exactly the same. It is area, but if I pass it and a single int, it should be giving me the area of a circle. If I pass it 2 ints, it should give me area of a rectangle or square, whatever it is. And 3 ints, that means I'll create this for a triangle. Now, if I need to create this,
Yes, sir.
yes, beta.
Sir, here, sir, it will be mentioned that overloaded, or we have to figure out ourselves like they will.
It will be mentioned overloaded. The question will clearly say these are overloaded methods.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, I am doing this part only. Okay, so that means you will create a class. This is question 2. Probably you write as Q2. And over there, you will first of all start off with public static. Now these are probably returning the area. All right. So this is basically returning an int. This is also returning an int. And this is probably returning an int. Okay. So we'll say public static int area and in brackets int say a. Okay. One function, one method, we have created the structure now. The second method is going to be again all similar thing, same thing, except we have 2 ints. Okay. And third one would be similar, except that this one has 3 ints. Okay, so the basic structure of your program is going to be this. This is half of your work is done now. That means you have to figure out, okay, you have to create 3 functions, and the 3 functions have been created as int area int a, int area int and int area int. And we have to make them all as public static, public static, public static. Does it make sense, guys? Half our work is over. And what do I need to do here?
Yes.
Okay, what do I need to do here? Okay, basically an area of a circle. This is an area of a circle. An area of a circle is normally a double. So we'll convert this into a double. My question has changed now. I've decided on double. So what should I return? I'll say return what is the value of pi?
So 22/7.
22/7.
Three
Either
point one.
you could use 22/7 or you can use a constant called math.pi.
Yes.
All right. All right. Math class has a constant called pi. You understand pi is both of them are capital letters. What does it indicate?
So pi.
It's a constant.
It is a constant. It is a constant. So any constant will always, when I told you, say if I say final int size is equal to 20, when I create a final variable, that means a variable which is constant, the variable will be created with all capital letters. Please remember this convention, okay? Because you are going to be in trouble if I'll be putting these questions.
Sir did not understand.
Whenever you create a constant, if you create it like this, what does it mean? Size can change its value, isn't it?
Yes,
And
sir.
it will be created like this. The variable size will be all in small letters. But if you want it to be final, that means that if you want it not to change it in the program at all, so you will create it like this. Right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. If you have not understood, this is another class. Okay. So math.pi is the pi value which has already been stored in the math class. So what does this indicate? Is it showing something like pi function? Is it a method?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir, a constant that we can form.
And what does, when I am writing math.pi, pi is a variable, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It is a constant variable.
Yes.
Is it static or non-static?
Non-static. So non-static.
Non-static.
If it was non-static, don't you think I should have been using an object here?
Yes.
It is static,
What am I?
sir.
Yes.
What am I using?
Sir,
I'm
here
using
math
a
is
class.
object.
The class and
Yes.
the
When I'm
constant.
using a class to execute anything, to invoke anything, if I'm using a class name, that is static. Okay, so I mean it should be clear to you. 2 pi r ऐसे ही होता है ना? No, 2 pi r
Yes,
square.
sir.
Okay, so
Sir,
it is 2.
that's no, sir, pi r square.
It should be pi r square.
Pi r square.
Okay, pi r square. So r here is actually a. So can I write a multiplied by a? Make things simpler.
Yes, sir.
Or math.pow a comma 2 and remove everything. Okay, is it fine, guys?
Yes.
This is something new that we have
Yes.
figured out. Okay, so let us see the other constants, math java constants, and you can find math constants here. It's not actually listing it. Okay, so math class static constants pi and e. Do you understand? Static आ गया ना वहाँ पे word? ठीक है? So it is
Yes.
basically a static constant which have been created. So pi has been created with a value of 3.14 whatever. I mean quite precise there. And math.e, I don't know why it is used. Is the base value for natural logarithm. So you should know better. Okay, so math.e will actually give you this value. So math.pi is normally used. Okay, guys, you know this. What about this one? This is the area of a rectangle. So it is going to be return 2 multiplied by a multiplied by, no, area is a into b.
Sir, a into b.
Into b, yeah. And area of a triangle is return. Help me here, beta ji.
Sir,
Sir, half into A into B.
So
C,
we
I
have
don't
to
need.
use Heron's formula over
I
here.
have the three
I don't know
sides.
for
I have the three sides. I have the
have
three
the
sides.
formula, sir. Then.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
we have to use Heron's formula.
All right. So I'm putting a question mark here. You do this yourself. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Now,
Excuse me, sir.
Hanji beta.
Sir, there was a power cut at my house, so I was not able to join. I'm able to join right now only.
Okay. So what should we do?
I'm just informing you about that. Please excuse that.
Okay. Who is this?
What's it?
Vatsal. Okay, Vatsal. I was wondering where you were. Okay. No worries. You can figure out the recording. Okay. All right. Now we have done the three things. Now उसने कहा था create करने के लिए we have created the three methods, and three methods are public, static, so and so, whatever it is. Okay. Now okay, this part is done. What if further it says create a main function which uses these methods? What should we do now? We'll create a public static void main method, and in this I'm going to execute each one of them. How am I going to use each one of them? Can anybody
Sir,
help me?
just write their names.
Just write
Like,
what?
just write area.
Area. What?
And then pass an argument.
Pass a value. For example, if I pass it a value of 10, what should it actually do?
Sure, sir, it should execute the first function.
Area of circle.
Area.
Okay, basically I want the area of a circle. Will it display anything? Will it what? Where is the area going to?
Main.
Where is the area going? Where
Sir,
will it be
So
stored?
we need to write system.out.println.
Okay, we need to write system.out.println, or we will actually use a double, say area AR, something like this, and then we can say AR is equal to so and so, and then we can write system.out.println
Sir,
AR. Yeah.
so can we also write like this system dot println and that in the bracket area bracket 10?
Yes, we can. This is what somebody else had also asked. We can do that also. Okay, we can do that also.
Excuse me, sir.
Although for your I mean, if you're solving for your board exams or my papers, I would suggest you do this. It should be stored into a variable, and that variable should be displayed.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, beta.
Excuse me.
Sir, inside the println, don't we need to call it the method? We you haven't applied that semicolon.
No, the semicolon is to be applied here only. So
Okay, sir.
it is not supposed to be here. Okay, it's
Sir.
never inside inside the statement. Okay, who there was somebody else who wanted to ask?
Sir.
Yes, Chris?
Sir, I was asking, sir, why don't we have to call all the three functions? It is saying use main method uses these functions. So in exam, sir, we have to write this if the question.
Yes. If you are going to use these methods, so you are going to use these one by one, isn't it? So how are you going to use? The first one is this. Second one, you will probably use, say, G is equal to area of 10 comma 20. So this is an area of a rectangle which is of size of 10 20, and then
Okay.
okay, so this is the second call. This is using the second one, and I can display G with the proper message. And the last one would be, I've already created the variable, I don't need to create it. I say area brackets में 10 comma 20 comma 30, and it returns the whatever value. Does
Sir,
it make sense?
values have to pass by ourselves only.
Values have to be passed by yourself. So it doesn't matter if the question says create a main method which uses these methods, then it is up to you where you are getting those values from. You could use
Okay.
buffer reader to input the values. You could use fixed values just like I have done. Okay, and that's it. Does it make sense, guys?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
in the main function on the fifth line, we have written int g is equal to area 10, comma 20. So and then after that, we are passing three more values. So the value of g will change again, or will it remain same?
No, no, it will change again. Here G is getting the result of whatever is the result from this call. So this is going to be 200. So G will be 200. And when this call is made, something else will be there, whatever this is returning, and that will be stored in G now, and
Okay, sir.
that will be displayed. Make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The question could also be saying that creates an object and uses these methods. What should I do?
Can you
I'll have to,
where is it written?
I'll have to create an object now. So q2q is equal to new q2 function. This is my object. And to execute each one of these, I will write q dot area, and here also q dot area, and here also q dot area. Yes or no?
Sir, isn't
Sure.
that supposed to be Q2 after new?
Sir,
Yes.
Q2 only, sir.
Sorry, yeah, q2. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So you create what the question said. The question said that creates an object and uses these methods. So when you create an object, you create an object like this, and then to execute all these, you could have used q dot area, q dot area, q dot area instead of using just area. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I'm doing this, can I remove the static from all of these?
Yes, sir. Then there is no need of making static.
No need of static.
Yes,
Why?
sir, because
Because
we are making
yes.
objects.
This, yeah. Why? Because we are actually creating an object and we are using the object to execute it. So I can execute member methods using the object. Does it make sense, guys? So we have done three things now. Number one, we have learned how to create the methods. All of them, we created all of them as public static, and we also created the main method as public static when the question actually said creates an object wala nahi tha part. Okay. Okay, काम करते हैं. Let me just remove all this. Let's revert to the original. This was the original that we had created, and this was the first part. I'll copy it, paste it again, and give you the second version. This did not have. ये creates an object वाला है, तो इसमें क्या क्या changes करें? ये creates an object वाला है, तो इसमें क्या क्या changes हो जाएंगी? I'll create an
So
object
we
now.
will create an
Remove static from all the.
Remove static. First of all, let's do this
and
part.
use dot operator as well.
Yeah, yeah, is equal to new q2 function, and then I'll use q dot, sorry, q dot q dot q dot, and if I'm doing this, I can, okay, if I leave it like this, does it matter?
No, sir.
No, it does not matter because a static can be executed using an object and using a
Yes.
class name. ठीक है? Okay. अगर मैं इसी लाइन को AR is equal to ऐसे लिखूं या ऐसे लिखूं या ऐसे लिखूं, does it matter?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It does not matter. Okay, when the functions are static, I can use an object to execute it. I can use nothing because I am actually using a static method to execute them, and I can use a class name to execute it. So any of these does not matter at all. Okay. All right. But because we are using object-oriented style now, so let's make them as member methods. Okay, I will pass this on to you in your WhatsApp thing once this is finished, once this class is finished. Okay, guys, I hope you are not tired. Are you tired?
No, sir.
No, you should not be. अभी तो जोश शुरू हुआ है. Okay, हमने static वगैरह भी part भी कर लिया. There is one thing that I want to do with you guys, and okay, the concept of reference. Okay, although not very important, but it is important for you to understand things. All right, out of 37 of you, I don't know how many of you will be able to understand. It is not a difficult concept, but yes, let me explain things. When I have a class and I am creating an object, what do you think is happening? I need an answer. What do you think is happening?
An object is being
Sir, we are
created.
creating an object.
An object is being created. Okay, an object is being created. So what is the object? What is the name of the object?
Q.
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 Is Q the name of the object? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now everybody pay attention now. Okay. The story is going to change. Beta Ji, when you talk about Q here, Q actually is a reference. It is the address of the object in memory. Q is not actually the object. Q is a reference, and whenever I talk about a reference actually means this is the address of something. So this is the address of the object in memory. And on the right hand side where I wrote is equal to new Q2 function, this is basically the object that has been created. Did you understand a little bit of whatever I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
okay, let me just explain things. Let me just scribble something here. All right. So the Q that we were talking about, it is something in memory. Can you see what I'm drawing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. The Q was the reference, and this is actual object being created. If the object is on location number 1126, if this object is on location 1126, what will be stored in Q is 1126. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
so that means when we talk about Q here, the Q here is nothing but an address of the object. The object being created is being created by the new operator. Okay, so we'll be doing the constructors in the next class, but you can understand this new Q2 function is basically creating the object, and is equal to is transferring that address into the reference. Can you understand what is happening here now? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes, beta.
sir, we are saying
Yes.
that Q is referring to the address of the object created.
Q contains the address. It is not referring to the address. Q contains the address of the new object.
Okay, sir.
It is not referring to something. It is referring to the object, we can say. It is not referring to an address. Okay, it contains the address. All right, let me come back here.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
somebody
can
said
you
something.
please explain this part again?
I'll explain this part again. Okay. I'll clear everything. Okay, so what is happening here is when we write q2, q is equal to, basically two things are happening. A reference is being created and an object is being created. Okay, so in the computer's memory, a reference is created called q, and this is the part of the memory where it has been created. I'm going to store something here in a little while. The new q2 function is basically going to create the object. So this is the object being created. Suppose this is created on location number 9264. This is the location where it is created. What is going to happen is new q2 function is going to create the object, and wherever it has been created, that is this address, is actually going to be stored into q. So in what is going to be stored in q is 9264. All right. So when I use q dot show, for example, and when I say q dot show function, what actually happens is q is on location number 9264. So whatever is object on 9264 is executed. Okay, is executed. All right.
Excuse,
Was I able to clearly say things?
excuse me,
Yes.
sir.
Haan ji beta.
Sir, then what is the name of the object, sir? What is the
The
name?
name of the object is nothing.
Nothing.
Is nothing. We actually use q as the name of the object. Understood?
Okay, sir.
Okay, we use q as the name of the object, but what I'm trying to tell you here is q is actually not the object. I'll explain things to you again abhi thodi der mein. Okay, let's say you have created q2, a is equal to new q2. Let's just do this part. q2a, q2b, q2c. What have I done actually? What have I created? What have I created?
Nothing.
No. According to whatever I've explained right now, what
Memory,
have I created?
memory location.
No, I've created something. What is it?
Reference.
The reference. I've created a reference. Okay. So that means if suppose here I just write test t is equal to new test function, and I write t dot show line function. So there is no problem, it will execute. I'm compiling, it is compiling fine. Suppose I do it this way now. I have just written test t and t dot show line. What is going to happen?
Sir, you have to write t is equal to new test.
Yes. So that means,
Yeah.
okay, I have just created a reference. Did I actually create an object?
No,
No.
sir.
No, the object is not created. The object is not created. So what does it mean now? If the object is not created, this line cannot execute. Why? Because there is no object to be executed on. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that means when I write this, this is actually I've just created references. All right. Uh, if I write test t, and in the next line I write t is equal to new test function. Can I do this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do this. So what is going to happen is when I write test T, it is going to create a reference called T, no object here. So when I say T is equal to new test function is going to create the object and the address of the object is going to be stored in T. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose I now create test say W and I say W is equal to T. What is going to happen now?
Sir, it will be W is equal to new test.
Okay, so if I so that means when the first object was created, T reference was created. When this line was executed, only the T reference was created. Is that fine? When the second line was executed, it created a new object using new test function. The object was on location number 9161 and the address was stored in 9161. So this is done. What happened when test W was created? What did I create?
Reference.
A reference.
Another reference.
Another reference. I have created another reference. Is anything stored in this reference? No. It is not
Not yet.
initialized. When I say W is equal to T, what is going to happen? What is stored in T is going to be stored in W.
91.
So what will happen now?
91.
So what was stored in
91.
T was 9161. So it is going to be 9161. So what do you see now? What is happening now? This reference was pointing to this particular object. This reference is also pointing to this particular object. So that means when I execute t.show function and the value of the variable was, for example, 20 in this case, don't you think it is going to show me 20? And if I use w.show function, what is it going to do? It is going to show me
20.
20 again.
20.
Why? Because both the references are pointing to the same object. Make sense?
Yes.
Does it make sense? Yes. It does.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll say this again now. So first we had test T, and test T we had created only one reference which was blank in the beginning, and when I say T is equal to new test function, it actually created this object, and this object was on location number 9161. What will be stored in T is going to be 9161. So this part is done. In test W, another reference is created, and when I say W is equal to T, so whatever is stored in T is going to be stored in W, and naturally W will also contain 9161. And from the graphic that you see here, you can see that T reference was actually pointing to this object that was newly created for it, and W is also pointing to the same object. So that means if I use T dot something or W dot something, it will actually mean the same thing to me. If I now write T dot set in bracket 15, I have set the value of 15, and if I say W dot show, what do you think it is going to show? This 20 is going to become 15 now. So what is it going to show?
15.
15.
15. Okay, so this reference part is something which I needed to do with you. We will be doing this again in the class. All right, because your call by reference is going to be working on this only. All right. Actually, call by reference, we'll do it a little later when we do arrays. So let's forget it. Okay, is this fine? From whatever you have understood. So it doesn't matter how much you have understood. You have understood 10% of it, 20% of it. That is enough for me. Is it okay? Just understand. Just understand this part.
Yes.
That when we create whatever is on the left side of the equal to sign is actually a reference. Okay, it is only containing the address. Although we call it an object, we say test T is the object, W is the object, because that is finally what we actually do with it. but technically T and W are simply containing addresses of the object. The object is actually kept separately from it. We need to understand that. Okay. All right. Okay, any questions here? I'll ask you then. I've written test A is equal to new test function. A is equal to new test function. A is equal to what has happened?
Sir, a reference and an object is created.
A reference and an object is created. How many objects have been created?
3.
1.
3.
Okay, let's have a vote. How many people say 3 have been created? And okay, 6, 7 of them. And how many people say fine? 6, 7, 8. Oh, bus. How many people say 1 have been created? Now 1 wala will start rethinking now. How many people say 1 has been created? Ye 1 wale. Harshal Kaur, you say 1. Vatsal 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's test this out now. Okay. Let's test this out. What happened when okay, so when I say test A is equal to new test, okay, what happened when test A? So A reference was created. This is the reference created. New test function will create an object. Maybe is this on location number 101. So what will be stored in A is 101, right? Okay. What is this new test function doing? The second one, this one. Don't you think this is going to create, it is going to create another object? Maybe at location number 201, and what will be stored in A is going to be 201 now. What happens when this is executed? A third object is going to be created. It is probably on 301, and now this will actually store 301. And when I say A dot show, it is going to show me the value which is stored in this particular object. Why so? Because this reference is actually pointing to this object now. Make sense, guys? Everybody who was saying 1
Yes,
is
sir.
not 1. So the moment new is executed, an object is created. Okay, so here we have executed new thrice. We have created one object. This is the second object. This is the third object. And we have created only one reference. वो बेचारी एक ही रेफरेंस में हम हर एक ऑब्जेक्ट का एड्रेस डालते जा रहे हैं. सो वो क्या शो करेगा? वो लास्ट वाला ही शो करेगा जब भी शो करेगा. बट एनीवे यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड न्यू. व्हाट इज न्यू डूइंग? न्यू इज क्रिएटिंग एन ऑब्जेक्ट. Okay. Okay. So those of you who are lacking in this understanding, please review this particular video again and again. In around 2 hours time, I will be putting this on YouTube and our website, so you don't need to worry about that. You should be okay with this part. Okay, although the syllabus does not say much about it, but I think you will be better off understanding this, because there are so many places where it is just vaguely explained to you. You will understand things a little better now. Understood? हाँ जी बेटा.
Sir, if by the normal execution of the program, if we write these things like A is equal to new test thrice, will it make any difference in the execution if in this structure?
It will not make any difference in the execution. For example, if I write test t is equal to new test function,
Right.
and write t is equal to new test function, and then write t is equal to new test function, it's not going to have any problem. Okay? Okay? There's no problem. But the only problem here is, can you see the screen? Can you see what is the problem with this situation now?
Yes, locations are changing.
Locations have changed. What is the problem with this?
Sir, too many objects are created.
Too many objects. What is another problem? Just give me another problem.
Sir, they
So
are
we'll
not
just
using.
get the last value.
We just get the last one. I need to see the problem.
So the first two objects are useless.
First two objects are useless. Who was that?
So I did.
Anusha?
Yes, sir.
Anusha. Thank you so much. The first two objects, these two objects are useless. Why are they useless? Because they are not being pointed to by any reference. No reference is actually using them. These objects are called as orphans. Okay? They're called as orphans. Orphans, they don't have parents. Okay, Anusha, thank you so much for understanding. Everybody should have understood. They have understood that these objects are not being used by any reference. ये बेचारी reference पहले इसको point कर रही थी, चलो छोड़ो. उसके बाद इसको point कर रही थी, वो भी छूट गया. Last में इसको point कर रही है. These two are gone. So this is gone. This is gone. So these two are orphans. They are useless. The Java system actually removes them from memory after a few seconds, because they are not being used. Okay. Okay, good. I'm happy that some of you have understood. You can view this recording again, and if you have problems, then we can discuss. Vatsal, thank you so much, beta. Okay. If you have any problem, just send the problem to me as an individual message. Or we can discuss in the class next time. ठीक है? ठीक है. If you want to ask anything, we can.
Thank you.
Yeah.